Hi, my name is Carson and I'm from the US.
My name is Prescott, I'm from Boston.
Hi, I'm Statham and I'm from the US.
And I'm Logan, I'm from the US as well.
How long have you been in Korea?
5개월? 됐어요?
Oh, that's really short. I've been in Korea for 11 years.
She's 한국인.
I've been here for just about 1 year.
I've been here 5 years.
How do Americans learn about Korea when they grew up in schools?
When we hear about Korea, we only hear about it through the news. We kind of lump both Koreas together, kind of. I mean, not that South Korea is bad, but when you think of Korea, like, only thing I knew growing up was like Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-il. So it's kind of like right now, every time I meet a Korean, they're like, "Oh, Trump." And you're like, no, like that's not us. Like, well, it is us, but like that's not me. And even when I was moving here, everyone's like, you know, it's kind of dangerous. Like he's right next door, but
We just learn about Korea when we learn about the world wars.
In the US, if you want to learn about Korea, you have to
Use the internet.
Yeah, you gotta seek it out yourself. Probably just like in a war context, you learn mostly about American and European history.
I remember learning about the Korean War in school, but just overall, any Asian history is like not covered a lot.
Before coming to Korea, what kind of stereotypes did you have about Korea?
I mean, because you're like half Korean, but like, did you have anything that you like expected but then wasn't here?
My harmony actually is super open-minded, and when she was in Korea, it was during the Japanese occupation. It was a more conservative culture, I guess, and she didn't like that. She wanted to get away. She's always makes sweeping stereotypes a lot. She's like, all Koreans are like this. All Koreans are like this. So she was saying that all Koreans are super conservative and like they'll judge you immediately.
Narrow-minded.
I thought that like before I came that Korean people
Really
in
mean?
general, on more than average, would make a snap judgment and then like base their entire perspective of you on that. She says she's always talked about how Korea is like a super appearance-based culture, so like you got to have like a nice suit and like looks determine a lot of things. I think that does generally hold true in Korean society. So I'm not saying it's everything, but I'm saying just like on average.
Like, I watched a lot of dramas before I came, so I guess I was thinking that Koreans were all just like short-tempered. Like, yeah, like I thought I would see people, I don't know, like fighting in the street, like in the dramas or something like that.
I think just in general, you just assume they're super dramatic. You know, like
Yeah, like
everything is just
dramatic,
like
yeah.
over the top. Like my friend's mom would say, like she'll hear something, she'll like fall over kind of thing. So I just assume like the guys here are kind of more feminist compared to like the image is more feminine. You know, like even the fact like wearing makeup, any kind of makeup, like was.
For me, because before I moved to Korea, I actually lived in Japan for 5 years. So when we found out that we were moving to Korea, in my mind, I was like, oh, that's like right next to Japan. So I thought it would just be the same. But I mean, I was really young. I was only like 12, but then now that I've lived here for so long and I compare the countries, it's so different.
Yeah, I thought that like
so different.
the languages were the same. I thought it was just like Spanish and Portuguese, like that level of difference.
What do you think Koreans speak
I think they think we're crazy. I think they think we're like loud, crazy, like we all like Trump again.
The funny thing is like the way Koreans see America and then the way Koreans see Americans are like two totally different things.
Oh, I can see
Like
that.
when Koreans talk about America, they're like, oh, America. And people always like, when I say I'm from America, they're like, why are you here? You could be living
they
in
always say that.
America. But then when they think about like American people, they're like, American people are fat. American people are loud. American people are rude. American people don't have manners.
We are kind of.
Yeah. So it's like funny to me that they see like Americans as negative and then like the country as like the godly land.
Oh, you must take drugs or like.
Drugs is a big
Yeah,
one. Someone's like, so you smoke weed? I'm like, what? No. It's like they're really curious about that. The people do ask that a lot. Like they do. Like, oh, so you have a gun? I'm like, no. Like, oh, I thought everyone has a gun. You're like, no. Why? Like,
What about China, Japan, Korea?
Well, I mean, because I lived in Japan and I lived in Korea. I've never been to China. I'd like to visit China. Definitely, I think it's interesting because, yeah, a lot of Americans just think those three countries are like the exact same.
Yeah.
and that they probably have the same like exact same holidays, exact same traditions,
Same
exact
food.
same foods, exact same, you know,
Language.
There's definitely, we do lump all the
Yeah.
Asian countries in together. Like especially among Asian women, how they, like, people always think they're like shy and quiet. When if you come here, like it's totally opposite. Like I've been hit by more Korean girls. Like, well, I mean, just like play like no. But I mean, like they would definitely like yell. They're not afraid to yell at you and like scream. And like, I feel like American perception is not quite that.
So Korean culture in general is more indirect. So you're like, 질문 있어요? Like there is a question, like you'll talk around a question more. Whereas in American culture, you just boom, you say it.
I mean, everybody's different, but there's a general personality, I guess, of like Chinese people, they tend to be more open, like they talk more to strangers easier, I feel like. And then, but Koreans tend to be a little bit more like standoffish, or like if you just are a stranger. And then Japanese people, I don't know that I've had as much direct contact with them, but I could definitely see that they seem to be shyer and like
yeah,
more
like
reserved.
the Japanese I
like-
actually have met tend to be that more, like they are closest to like the stereotype that Americans have of other Asian countries, I think. Like they do tend to be really quiet. My classmates are Japanese, you know, if they get called on, they like panic and they're like, ah. Like one thing I think Korean has the best sounding language. Like it's kind of romantic, not too like guttural and like bouncing all over the place. Like it's smooth, like music.
I actually took a class in university where we had to Skype with Japanese students and Chinese students, and we were technically the Korean students, even though I'm not Korean. And so we would talk about our cultures and stuff. And like in Japan, they're so old-fashioned. Like they do not change anything. They still have cabinets of like files and things. Like they're very.
Yeah, I saw that.
They cannot.
And time cards.
Yeah, like they
Yeah.
they just love to stay old and traditional, whereas Korea is like so like we want to be, you know, like
Modernized.
basically before BTS, I guess. Like before the BTS phenomenon, pretty much all they thought of was like in regards to like North Korea. That's all you would see on the news. All you know about Korea is the Korean War. That's all you learn. And then after school, then all you would hear about Korea is related to like North Korea, basically.
Even
And-
Japan and China, like we just, it's not really, doesn't affect the average person in America, so we just don't hear about it a lot.
So what do you think about like boycotting like Japanese products in Korea?
so like if they are gonna like boycott something, they take it so serious. Like I never imagined that I would go to a convenience store and there would be guides. If you usually drink this, here's the Korean version. I was like,
Boycotts.
wow.
Kind of impressive. That's another cultural difference, I think, that like there's a lot of societal pressure on the individual in Korea, whereas in the US it's
You're
more like
so
it's
individual.
from the individual. It's like society, I'm gonna do what I want. But in Korea you have more influences.
Japan's pressure us, like they keep asking for apologies if you're not an expert, and we say like then you're gonna boycott it. Japan.
Yeah, I could totally understand why Koreans would want to boycott Japanese products.
I don't know like why Japan took the unilateral action against Korea, but I think it's detrimental to both economies and also the global economy that both countries stand their ground. But if it's political, I think that's kind of, you know, a little childish.
And even the US didn't want Japan to do this. And so when Japan did it anyways, it was kind of like their own way of making a statement, kind of saying like, F y'all, we do what we want, you know, we've given you all. They're just being kind of like the US says, like selfish and like they only think about themselves.
Because we were colonized for a long time. and
Yeah,
Japan didn't
like 30 plus years.
Yeah, actually, my harmony speaks better Japanese than she does Korean because she was like during that period where they were trying to stamp out
Korean
like
language.
Hangul and stuff. Yeah.
Wait, and that's what Korea is kind of saying is like we could move forward in the future, but the way Japan always reacts to, you know, talking about the issues, it's always very like not what the Korean people wanted. Because I think both countries are still really sensitive about it because as much as people think that it's only Korea that's sensitive about it, Japan's sensitive too. If they weren't sensitive, they would have apologized already, like sincerely. But they're still like weirdly embarrassed by it, so they want to cover it up. Because like even like when Korea likes to make, you know, movies about, you know, the wartime, you know, colonization, all these things, and Japan hates it. They hate it when Korea makes all these movies that makes them into the bad guy that they are.
Is interesting. So Korea has really done well on their soft power. So like they're not as strong militarily as maybe Japan and China, but their cultural power is huge. Because if Korea makes a movie about that, it can get disseminated easily into the US market more and change global opinion. So Korea has done a really good job on building their soft cultural power.
So I just hope that everyone understands we're just talking in a general perspective, and I hope no one got their feelings hurt.
I try and look at it from an objective view, so if I got something wrong, just tell me. I'm always trying to learn more about situations and people's perspectives.
We're open-minded, so leave a comment down below.
Bye, everyone.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.